Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my second attempt at recording this video because I completely lost my train of thought in the first one and just ended up rambling about nothing. Anyway, welcome to Vlogentines Day 3, or February 3rd for those of you who are like, or pretty much everyone who doesn't do the Vlogentines thing. Anyway, so my day's been a mess. Not always a bad mess, like, oh, today's been awful. No, I don't mean like that. It's just been really chaotic. Really not like days normally go. Me and my wife have a pretty regimented schedule of how our days normally go, just because we both thrive on routine. And due to issues, today was not at all following that schedule. Kayla is in the process of dyeing her hair. She's wanting to dye her hair a crazy color, which apparently has been chosen as rose gold. The problem is that she's naturally a brunette and has had her hair dyed red, and to get her hair the rose gold she wants, she needs to be pretty much blonde, which means that she needs to be lightened. But red hair dye, the way that it is, doesn't play well with others. You can't dye over red dye. You can't wash out red dye. You need to use pretty powerful dye remover to get rid of red dye, and also lighten the hair. So that's what Kayla did last night after I recorded my video. Actually, was it during recording the video? Yeah, while I was recording yesterday's video, Kayla was doing her hair with her friend. And it worked. The red dye is gone. The hair is lighter. The hair also smells like rotten eggs, which is very unfortunate, because who likes the smell of rotten eggs? And it's very strong, and it won't go away. I didn't sleep very well last night because it's really hard to sleep next to someone whose head smells like rotten eggs, especially when you only have a double bed. Which normally isn't an issue, just if you need some space from someone's smelly head, you can't really find it much. So I didn't sleep very well, which is never a good start to the day. But anyway, so yeah, last night, Kayla showered 3 times in the last 24 hours, and her hair still smells like rotten eggs. Because it was still really bad in the morning, like we got up, she showered to try and get the smell out because it was still there. The smell was still there after a prolonged shower to try and get the smell out. It was still there, and worse at the time because her hair was wet, and all smells are always worse than they're wet. So Kayla then went to the salon to try and get some sort of magical salon product to fix the problem. Unfortunately, when she gets there, they tell her, "Oh yes, we have a product that can fix every hair problem except odor." So they gave her a shampoo they sold her a shampoo that if she uses it every week, should solve the problem in a few weeks. Of course, everything I've been reading on the internet says that the problem should solve itself in a few weeks, so I'm incredibly skeptical of the marketing of that salon. But anyway, so yes, I don't want it to last a couple weeks. Kayla also doesn't want it to last a couple weeks. I'm pretty sure everyone who comes into close proximity of Kayla's head also doesn't want it to last a couple weeks. So we're still working on that. After I finish filming this video, Kayla's going to be washing her hair again. And hopefully it'll come out after the 4th try. Mm-hmm. Hopefully. But yeah. Anyway, so that was my morning and mid-afternoon. Her appointment was at 3, and we were trying to find our own DIY issues and stuff like that until 1. But yeah, so my morning was completely shot. My afternoon was a total mess. Why it is such a big issue for me is because I'm autistic. I have issues with sensory overload, or overstimulation, but sensory overload is a way that is a phrasing that is more understandable to people who aren't familiar with autism things or mental health things in general. Basically, people who are autistic, not all of them, but a lot of people who are autistic, because autism manifests in tons of different ways, one of the ways, at least in my case, that it impacts my daily life the most is sensory overload. Autism causes all sorts of potential issues while growing up, while being an adult. Like growing up, you have trouble learning it inhibits your forming of social skills, of language skills, stuff like that. And when you're an adult, those lack of skills can cause problems. Like it's hard to make friends when you tend to take everything literally. And so people will sometimes just be busting on you and you'll think they really hate you when they really don't. But if they don't tell you that, you don't know. Alternatively, this also has happened to me quite a few times. They can be really annoyed at you about something, but are being polite and not telling you. If I'm doing something that you don't like and you don't tell me, chances are I will keep doing it until a small problem becomes a big problem. And then a friend group implodes or explodes, which has happened multiple times to me. But anyway, overstimulation or sensory overload. Not everyone, but for a lot of people with autism, their brains just, the filter that people's brains use to determine what sensory information is important and what is essentially background noise doesn't work super well. It makes us very observant, but sometimes too observant. Not in that, oh, we can't unsee certain things, but as in, if you walk down the street, for example, you, the average person who does not have autism, a hypothetical person, not actually specific people in my audience. You'll walk down the street and there'll be some ambient road noise, some ambient conversation noise from the people also walking down on the sidewalk. Maybe like a plane flying by, some birds, a dog, various things. Most of it is just background noise. You can focus on a conversation you're having with your friend or your partner or your family that you're walking down the street with. Me, I will hear lots of individual cars making noise, lots of individual groups of people having their own conversations that I will try and focus on all of them. Stuff like that. I notice everything. Not in that I notice everything, but that I can't not notice things. My brain doesn't just turn things into background noise. Things often end up as background noise because my brain tries to process 20 things at once and can't. So everything just turns into a blur, which is exhausting and disorienting and can easily lead to sensory overload, where your brain essentially is trying to process so much sensory information that it eventually just gives up on trying to get everything, and you can feel it like shutting down. It's sort of like when a laptop starts to overheat because you've had it on your lap for a long time, or had something pressed against the fan so it can't really ventilate, or you are playing a game on it that is really not powerful enough to use, so it overheats because if you're like me, you play video games for like 6 hours straight because you lose track of time. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of you have had the issue of a laptop overheating and powering itself down for protection so it doesn't melt its circuits or stuff like that. Sensory overload is kind of like that. When I can feel sensory overload starting to happen, I can feel my brain slowing down and basically kind of going into low power mode. Sometimes I'll have a full meltdown and my brain will essentially go into low power mode. But most of the time my thinking is incredibly sluggish. I can't really process things very well, if at all. But anyway, I digress. The reason that I'm talking about sensory overload is the fact that Kayla's hair, while it smells bad, I imagine for most people it would just smell bad, and that would be unpleasant. For me, it gives me headaches being around her head. It makes it hard to think when I am around her head. And it makes just doing anything in close proximity to her head take twice as much energy as it normally does. It's incredibly draining, leaves me with a lot of headaches and a lot of just brain fog. I know, for those of you familiar with mental health things, I know I shouldn't really be using brain fog because that is a term that specifically means something for, I want to say, it is fibromyalgia, which I do not have that I know of. I'm pretty sure I don't have it because I don't have chronic pain, other than from old injuries. But it's a term that is applicable in explaining it to people, and that it feels like there is fog in my brain that I can't see through to actually to process what my senses are taking in. It's there, but I can't make any sense of it. It's not like I can't see or can't hear, it's just that it just all becomes white noise that I'm trying to understand but can't. But anyway, yeah, so today's been incredibly draining, which is why this video is going up so late, because I only actually got around to showering at about 9 o'clock, because today's been a complete chaos, and I don't do well on chaos. I like order. I like things to be predictable. It makes things simpler. It means I can mentally prepare myself for what is going on, what is going to happen next in the day, with reasonable precision. Like, not like every day must go like clockwork, because that's boring. But like, I will wake up, I will like eat breakfast, then Kayla will nap, and then I will play video games, and like it's relatively professional, like in like chunks of blocks of time. And when that schedule gets horribly disrupted, it's really draining for me. But anyway, I'm rambling. Because this video is up so late, my ADHD meds have worn off, so my brain is a big ramble. I'm trying to stay on topic. Anyway, yeah, so that's general overview of sensory overload. Oh, I did, yeah, this is the second time I've recorded this video, so I'm forgetting that I haven't said certain things. The main types of sensory overload for various people are, some people get really overloaded by sound. Some people, like lots of people talking around them, or music playing in department stores while they're also having a conversation. Some people get overloaded by sight, like flashing lights, or like a lot of different bright colors, trying to take in a lot of visual stimuli at once. Some people, like me, get overloaded by smell. Smell is my biggest one. I can't go into makeup stores like Sephora. I don't really have any cause to go into makeup stores like Sephora because I don't really wear makeup. But just walking by the entrance of them gives me a headache. And I can feel my brain start to slow down if I continue to stand there, which I don't do because that's not a very pleasant feeling. But like it really affects my day-to-day life if I'm out in public. Cigarette smoke gives me massive headaches. Like, well, in department stores, just going through the makeup section can often give me headaches. Or cleaner aisles, that too. Just anywhere you find a lot of pretty strong scents in the same place really messes with my head, which is really inconvenient. And I'm sure there are lots of other people, including probably a few people in my audience, even though my audience is only 10 people. Well, I know there's at least one who also has the issue, as that's my wife. But, I mean, other than her. Once I have a larger audience, those of you who see this video, I'm sure there are a bunch of you who also struggle with sensory overload, autism, various other things. Yeah, so that's been my day. It's been relatively unexciting, as a lot of my days are. So, just talking about larger issues in my life, instead of all the various things I do in a day. Although we are planning to have a really interesting day, theoretically, on Monday, where we're going to go do a big romantic date at the local mall and do a bunch of stuff, which we're going to try and vlog. I'm not sure whether the video is going to go up, like most of the video footage is going to be on my channel or her channel. I'm not sure, we haven't really figured that out because we only have one camera. But I will either steal some of the footage from her video, or it'll be split, or whatever. But Monday should be a very interesting video, assuming we actually go, which we may or may not do. But anyway, I think that's all I have to say for today. Thank you for listening to me ramble, and if you're watching this as it comes up, thank you for watching this at such a late hour. And for all of you who actually have watched through this whole video, thank you. It's appreciated. And Every evening I check my my analysis of my views on my YouTube app, and I was like, ooh, so many people watch my video. I have like however many minutes of view time. It makes me happy. It lets me know that people are listening, that what I say is theoretically having an impact on their lives. I like to think so, at least. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to, I'll figure out how I want to say this. Last time I said like the like button, which I don't know why that came out. I know a lot of YouTubers who have fancy ways like saying smash that like button, or gently tap that like button, or various things. Just click the like button. I'll come up with my own original way at some point, but right now just click the like button if you like this video. If you want to see more videos by me, feel free to subscribe. There is a little bell icon that will give you notifications on your YouTube app. If you click that, for me, you'll get notifications when I post, and you won't have to see them through Facebook or randomly find them through things, because YouTube will sometimes not put things in subscription boxes. So if you tap the bell icon, you should get a notification on your YouTube app or YouTube website account, if you use your computer, when I post, and you can find my videos easier, which clearly you all want, because my videos are such quality content. Hopefully they will be at some point. Right now I'm learning. Hopefully I will create better content soon. Hopefully I will also stop making videos at the end of the day when my meds are wearing off and I am a complete scatterbrain. That's what I'm looking for. I'm sure there's certain amusement to watching my mind ramble on, but I can certainly make a much more focused video if I do it before my meds wear off. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, get notifications if you want to see more of my stuff and get notifications about it. If you have suggestions of what you want me to talk about in the future, leave them in a comment. If you have suggestions but you don't want me to talk about in the future, leave a comment. I need feedback. So I know what people like, what people don't like, and then I can decide if I actually want to do something that I want that other people don't really care about or what. At least I'll know. I can make that decision as an informed decision. I try and stay true to myself, but also give people what they want. Well, what they want to hear. Not like, that came out wrong. I don't like tell people what they want to hear, but as in give people the kind of information they are interested in. That's better wording. But anyway, also, I don't have a set date for this yet, or even a 100% confirmation, but I am working with a friend of mine who has also recently, well, she's had a YouTube for a while, but who is starting to make her own videos, and we are interested in doing a collab together on early adulthood experiences. We knew each other in high school, and I've only recently started talking to each other again, despite the fact that we've lived in the same city for the last 7 years without really knowing it. So it's going to be a collab with her at some point, hopefully. So if you have interesting questions you'd like to have us answer, like, what was our first high school dance like? Or like, what was like the first time you got drunk on your own, or whatever. Like, just interesting early life stories, like high school, university, whatever. It should be interesting to have us both answer them, because our lives were very different in high school. She was the cool girl, the popular girl, and I was the nerdy music kid. So our general life experience in late teenage years is very different. It was actually her idea to do a collab, have a comparison of our lives, because answering the same questions, you get wildly different answers. Or you might not. Our lives may actually be surprisingly similar. That would be interesting in itself. But anyway, I'm rambling about a video that hasn't happened yet and doesn't have a set date. But if you are interested in that video, and it should be pretty interesting, leave in a comment, or if you have me as a friend on Facebook, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually link my Facebook here, but a lot of my subscribers already have me as friends on Facebook. You can message me on Facebook, or is there a messaging system on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, apparently you can also message me on YouTube. I don't know how, but I'm sure if you message me, I will find out, because it will then give me a notification. But yeah, if you have ideas or questions, that would be fun. If not, I can always find like lists of questions online. But users, subscribers submitted ones are always more interesting. Anyway, I think that's everything. So thank you again for tuning in. This was Vlogentines Day 3. It's probably going to go up after midnight, but I'm still recording it before midnight. I'll try and get it before midnight. But yeah, so this is Vlogentines Day 3. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.